Hello, and I'm still, am I muted or I'm back?
You're back.
I'm back, and I'm Alan Appel, I think, reporter with New Haven Independent, and this afternoon host on our radio station, WNHH 103.5 LP here in community radio in New Haven. This is day 2 of the Great Radiothon, in which we're helping to support the Great Give. And our guests at this 1:30 hour are Solar Youth. And let me see, Michaela Evans. Hi, Michaela.
Hi.
Hi, Jeremiah Godley. Hi, Jeremiah.
Hi.
And Kylie
Kamschlies.
Yeah. Kylie Kamschlies. All right, I'm going to remember that. And no Joanne.
No, she wasn't. She had some other stuff come up, so she asked me to step in for her.
And if she were here, I associate Solar Youth as one of the anchoring organizations of New Haven, and I've been trying to pronounce her name for 20 years. How was Joanne's last name pronounced?
Scully.
Scully. All right. Well, we don't have to say it. We just have to say Kylie Kamschlies. Welcome all.
Yeah.
Solar Youth is it's 20 years old, and I came to New Haven 20 years ago. So I feel I'm celebrating 2 decades along with you here in New Haven. If people want to support this wonderful organization, which you're going to tell us about, they should go to, what's the best place to go, to solaryouth.org or go to greatgive.org?
You could do both. Great Give would probably be the easiest if you're participating in Great Give. And also the Facebook page, there's a number of posts going on right now that direct you to where it is and shows off what we're doing.
Are you competing for awards? How are you doing in all these individual prizes?
That is my understanding. Yeah, I actually am the coordinator of one of the Green Jobs intern programs, and so I'm more support interns, and we have some other great folks who are working.
So Kylie, why don't you give us just a quick overview for people, for the 3 people in New Haven who might not know about Solar Youth, because I think a lot of people do, but tell us what's old about Solar Youth and what's new program wise, and then maybe you call on Jeremiah and Michaela, and maybe they can tell us what aspect of the organization they're associated with.
That sounds great. Just a quick rundown. Solar Youth mission is to empower youth to achieve lifelong success. And we see lifelong success for a number of different things. One is healthy relationships. Let me make sure I get all these. Yeah. Healthy family and social relationships. They have a way of contributing to their community. They have physical and mental health, and also economic self-sufficiency. We do that by running programs for children in some of the high poverty areas in New Haven, from ages all the way 5 all the way 18 plus. And so we have City Ecology from 5 to 8, steward programs from 9 to 13, and then we have 2 of our interns on the phone, so ages 13 to 18. Jeremiah is from the Youth Educator Intern Program, which works directly with the Steward and City Ecology programs. So you have Michaela, who works with the Green Jobs program that focuses more on different aspects of leadership skills. And this year we're focusing on entrepreneurship, specifically social and environmental entrepreneurship.
Oh, okay. So Michaela, so tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you've been connected with Solar Youth, and specifically what you're doing these days with the organization.
Well, I'm Michaela. I'm 14 and I'm in 9th grade. What we've been doing really is like focusing on our community, you know, to like bring everybody together, to make everybody feel like in a community. We did a few projects bringing the community together to make sure everybody's okay. Um, in a community engagement group when we made like surveys and sent them out to make sure everybody has what they need. And if they didn't have what they need, give them resources to um, like help them out so they have what they need. Um, then we also have a garden project where if you know and like then they can go to their community gardens to go get it and like stop by in case they were having problems um and just more like making sure everybody just is staying especially the time that we're having right now with the quarantine, so making sure everybody is safe and have what they need.
Oh, right, right. So when you say your community, what part of New Haven are you working in, and are you from?
We're working in Westville Manor, Brookside, and Rockview. That was really our main focus since like that's where the office was located
Right.
in Westville Manor. So, but it was really for like everybody, but the main focus was there because we were more closer there.
Right. And you did surveys. You said what came back from the surveys? What did you learn from the surveys that were sent out?
A lot of people needed like some of the similar things like groceries and stuff, and I wasn't really the person to analyze the the surveys. I was just making, but when I called a couple people to make sure that they really just needed like groceries and transportation.
You mean during the pandemic?
Yes.
So were you able to follow up on that and help them?
Well, we wasn't able to, but we shared resources because there was an organization that was already getting on that problem. So we just shared our resources to them and kind of like work together. So they was already taking
You made the connection. Oh.
what aims can you repeat that?
Yeah, no. So I understand you made the connection between those people and organization that was providing groceries.
Yeah. So yeah, that was already getting taken care of. So we moved on to like problems that teens might have. So which was a big issue was teens were having problems like not able to like socialize with people because they needed like social interaction, and we weren't able to do that with the staying in the house effect.
Right.
So we was like thinking of things like how my team might be able to communicate and socialize with people without breaking the rules of the 6 feet apart and quarantine.
So we're speaking with Michaela Evans, of an intern with Solar Youth. You can support Solar Youth by going to solaryouth.org or looking them up on The Great Give, one of the anchoring youth organizations in New Haven. So Michaela, maybe I can go to Jeremiah and ask him the question that you left me with, which is, how are you personally and some of the kids that you're talking to dealing with the need to socialize safely under these circumstances? So how is it going with your work and that specific problem, Jeremiah?
It's going pretty well because right now we're sending kids like videos of how to socialize without actually being in each other's faces, or we're giving them creative tutorials on how to do stuff, so like they won't just be bored and they'll be entertained with my job and how to do things.
And what community are you working with?
I'm YEI, Youth Education Internship.
But also in Westville Manor, or are you in Westville Manor?
I'm in Westville Manor, yeah.
Right, right. And so Kylie, I understand when the organization was founded, it originally, Solar Youth was doing programs all over the city, but at a certain point, a decision was made to focus on just a few neighborhoods and make an impact there rather than citywide. Can you sort of address that for people who might not know about that?
Yeah, so it has actually shifted over the 20 years of the organization, as you would expect. And one of the focuses of Solar Youth is working within the neighborhoods themselves. So having the organization be in the neighborhood. And so Westville Manor, where the office is, has been sort of a constant. And then there's been some other sites that have been opened or changed, opened or closed, depending on demographics and funding and what that may look like. We also right now are running a program out of another neighborhood on the, make sure I get my directions right, east side of town called Eastview Terrace. And then fortunately or unfortunately, both of these interns are from Westville Manor, so that I can provide some information on that if you're interested, but we do have 2 sites currently, and with ever-changing times, we'll see how that may shift in the future.
And is the organization still active in New Hallville and over in West Hills?
Not right now, no.
Not right now. So it's Westville Manor and over Eastview Terrace in Fairhaven.
Correct. Yep, it's right next to Fairhaven.
Right.
It's still in. Yeah.
So whenever I cover stories and they're people from Solar Youth, I'm always impressed by how long they've been associated with the organization. So Michaela, you're an intern now, age 14, but my guess is that you're not new to Solar Youth. Or when did you start? How old were you when you first were part of Solar Youth?
I started this year in February.
Oh,
still at the age of 14.
Okay. There you go.
Jeremiah.
All right. So, what brought you to Solar Youth? I mean, I'll ask Jeremiah how long he's been involved, but how'd you learn about the organization, and what's your big personal takeaway from it? Or what are you getting out of it most at the moment?
I was referred to it by a friend. She works, she's an intern in Eastview Terrace. Mm-hmm. And she brought it up to me, and I told her, well, maybe I'll check it out, because I didn't have anything to do after school and stuff, so maybe I thought like it would be like good for me. Mm-hmm. And I came to apply and I liked it. What I take away from it is I got to like build new bonds with my other interns that I work with. Mm-hmm. And it strengthened my skills and like entrepreneurship. I started a business, so I was able to get help with that. And just really just got to work on my communication skills, and just like leading and like managing skills and stuff. So it just was a great win-win for me.
Well, you're communicating very well, if I may say, at the moment.
Thank you.
Quick question. Can you tell us about your business?
Yes. So I started an online shop. It's called Brat Lashes. I started it a couple weeks ago. My website is currently taken down because I have to restock on the products. It's really just like a female like boutique for like accessories and like cosmetology stuff, and it's just something that like I hope can really like be successful and continue to be successful.
Well, that's great. Jeremiah, tell me about how long you've been connected with Solar Youth, and what are your big takeaways from your experience so far?
I've been in Solar Youth since I was 8. I started there as a kid, and then I stopped going there at 12. But then while I was 13, I kept in contact with everyone because I was pretty good friends with the interns and the coordinators and everyone. So it was really nice. And then at the age of 14, which is right now, my mom, she told me, she's like, they're having internships for Solar Youth. And I was like, oh, let me join it. And it's going pretty well.
So what were you doing at age 8 with Solar Youth? What program were you part of at age 8?
We were doing a lot of environmental skills, like, how to hike and how to plant a garden and all of that. It was really about nature.
And now specifically, your intern work is about entrepreneurship or not? It wasn't clear to me.
No, my part is working with the kids.
Oh, with the kids, right. So when you say kids, I mean kids who are 8 years old, it would.
Yeah, I'm gonna say between 6 years old and 8 years old.
Well, what does that feel like? I mean, you're sort of, you're not that, I mean, 14 is 6 years older than 8, but
Yeah.
do you sort of feel uh, uh, you are working with kids who are like you were when you were 8 years old? I mean, is it what kind of experience is that?
It's a really fun but interesting experience because when I was younger, I always imagined like, how it felt to work with kids and see how it is. And now I see how it is. It's not harder, but it's more, I'm gonna say determined because when you're working with kids, it's all about like, you have to memorize their names, their feelings of how they are and how to treat them. You can't say the wrong thing or they'll go crazy. So you have to treat them correctly, if you know what I mean. So it's not really a crazy experience. It's more of, like I said, determined an experience.
Mm. Mm. I was always curious about Solar Youth, Kylie. So many of the programs have to do with the environment, but the environment seems to me to be a means to help kids, as you say in your on the solaryouth.org page. It's a way to teach leadership and teach self-confidence and sense of community. But why environmental things? How did that become the kind of means to the end here? Because it could be something else. Or was it because what did Joanne was had to do with Joanne, I guess, when she founded the organization?
Yeah, that's my understanding, and I think it's a model that has worked well up until now. There's a lot you can learn from nature in a way that is not direct and yet full, and I think that provides a really good opportunity, both for lessons, but also it's a like physical, tangible experiences, which are sometimes hard to find other places.
Right, right. So we're talking to Kylie Comschles, Jeremiah Godley, and Michaela Evans of Solar Youth here on The Great Give on WNHH 103.5 FM on our radiothon. If you want to support this wonderful anchoring organization in support of youth, go to thegreatgive.org or to solaryouth.org. Is there a particular what are the particular challenges that the COVID-19 situation has caused, since the kids can't be together? I don't know, Jeremiah, maybe you can address this. How do you handle trying to do the things you want to do without the kids being together?
So like I said before, we're doing videos now of
Right.
like tutorials and stuff. So like, I'm a very friendly person. So when I do my videos, I make sure that like, I'm mentioning them. Like, what's up guys? What's up kids? Like, I make sure that they feel like I'm actually talking to them, so they don't feel alone. Also, since the kids are in my neighborhood, when I'm taking out the dogs and I'll see them running around, I'll like, wave and say hi and stuff. So it's good, like, stay in the same place and interact with each other.
Let's see.
But, from a distance.
Right. From a distance, right, right. Michaela, what about you? I guess you've got to get your website up, and then you've got to market your products.
Yeah, well, I want to say like COVID-19 has taken effect on my business, because like I was coming about the idea already. So now that I have time off, I get to now I can really make sure I have everything done. So I don't really have anything else to do. So I can just put my time and my focus to this,
Right.
in the business, and to make sure like I have everything together. So when this is all over, I'm all set and the business is ready to like launch and to start accepting orders and stuff. But I will say it has taken effect on um the Green Jobs internship because, we're used to like being in our office talking and interacting and doing stuff together. But it's harder because now we have to adapt to speaking virtually, which we use this platform Zoom too. So like um it feel like time is going by faster and we don't have time and like more time together. And now it's just kind of like harder, but we adapted to it pretty well. But it just feel like the program went by so quickly because we're coming to an end soon.
I hope so. We all hope so. So Kylie, I understand the organization canceled a fundraiser recently. Tell us about what is it? The Solar Jam?
Yeah, our yearly fundraiser, the Solar Jam, is usually in May. It would be happening, I think, next week is when it was generally scheduled, where we have donors come together and do raffles and silent auctions and that kind of stuff. And because there is right now, it makes sense for us to socially distance. We're focusing our efforts differently. A lot of it is specifically around this Great Give and being more strategic with what we're looking for. So, for example, like some of the Green Jobs interns are starting up the community garden in Westville Manor, and we'd be asking for like gardening tools and stuff like that, being more specific about some of what we're asking for to keep the programs running in the ways that support the people we work with.
And they're going to be working in the garden with masks 6 feet apart?
Yeah, so that's some of the differences is how do you do these things that were easier in the past, in making sure people stay healthy and people stay safe and people requested by us. So it's a different kind of a challenge, and unfortunately, the interns we work with are awesome, and they are willing to step into those roles and lead.
Right. Well, and the organization Solar Youth is also awesome, and along with you two interns, Michaela and Jeremiah and Kylie, thank you very much for joining us on this segment of the Great Give here on WNHH 103.5 FM, and support solaryouth.org or go to thegreatgive.org, and donations very much needed for those efforts, including tools and getting those gardens going in Westville Manor and beyond. Thank you again. We'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.